guys enjoy the race down there. There have been 93 races here at the Lowe's Motor Speedway for the NEXTEL Cup Series. 45 of them have been won by a guy that started in the first two rows. Wally, you talked about guys trying to use that inside groove to pass. Last night, 1/3 of the race was run under caution because of incidents like this.
Yeah, Stewart tried to go onto the bottom side of Newman on the restart. There's just no grip. And the biggest problem is with the cars, you start to lose the tail end of a car here. You can't catch it. Once it goes, it goes really fast. So it's tough.
Here are the cars that crashed out of the race last night.
And a huge list of them.
And you can see Tony Stewart, Jimmy Johnson, Greg Biffle, Jeremy Mayfield are all drivers in the chase for the NEXTEL Cup Championship that ran in the Busch race here last night. There were 14 cautions, 19 cars failed to finish of the 43 that started, 67 caution laps, 100 miles, 1/3 of the race. And there is a similar concern that we could see incidents like that here tonight. Pace vehicle to pit road. Ryan Newman brings them back to the green. Completing lap 7. NBC Sports Live at the Lowe's Motor Speedway, Charlotte, North Carolina.
Casey Mears slide up out of the groove there in 1 and 2. He's going to lose a few spots. Mark Martin going underneath him.
Mark in the 6. Carl Edwards in the 99.
Mark slides up the racetrack a little bit. He doesn't have the grip, and he really slides. Almost went 3 wide.
Matt Yoakum on Mark Martin.
Bill, under that caution, Mark Martin was telling Pat Trice, his crew chief, my car is just so much faster than the 41 of Mears in the corners. I'm having to play it a little more conservative, but he was concerned about his teammate Carl Edwards in the 99. He was a little higher on the racetrack in his mirror. He was concerned possibly about taking some of that air off that spoiler like we saw happen to some cars last night, which then they just went around and backed it into the wall.
That's it. Edwards in the 99. Carl ran here in May in the 600-mile race. And Alan, that was his first complete race here at the Lowe's Motor Speedway.
Yeah, Bill, driver has done a remarkable job in his first full season on the circuit, contending for the championship despite his lack of experience. He has a veteran spotter, Bobby Hudson, who is constantly on the radio from atop the grandstand, coaching Carl, trying to keep him calm. Carl says, I'm a rookie. I still tend to do things sometimes that might upset the guys I'm racing with. Bobby's his eye in the sky, trying to keep him under control, keep his ambitions in check.
Carl Edwards, one of the 10 drivers in the chase for the NEXTEL Cup Championship. And as Alan said, spectacular season for the driver of that 99 machine. Following the veteran Mark Martin. Martin the winner last week at Kansas.
I'm told that Joe Nemechek in the 01 car might have touched the wall coming off turn 4 just a moment ago, and just barely. Might not have even touched it, but he got so close, he got to some bumps and looked like he might have bottomed out.
There's Nemechek. Martin right behind him, and then his teammate Edwards.
It's like Jeff Gordon's wanting to go. And Gordon looks like he's got a pretty decent car. He gets right up on the back bumper of the 41 car, gets him loose, and now he's got the spot.
Dave Burns.
24 car of Jeff Gordon just a little bit loose as well at the start, but quicker than the 41. Guys told me the car was very good in practice this weekend. But Jeff, you see him having trouble holding that bottom line, Wally.
Yeah, he almost had the pass pulled off, and then they went in there side by side, and that's the thing. Jeff had to get out of the throttle just to crack
out of the 41.
And the problem is, he lost a couple spots.
Carl Edwards trying to get by on the outside. Mark Martin tried to follow Jeff Gordon, and he lost 2 spots. Carl Edwards got by. Also, Kyle Busch in the 5 car got by Mark Martin in the 6.
Dave, what do you want to get in about the 41?
Yeah, Bill, just that he can run that high line. Casey Mears told me right before the start, I really like the lower line better for the speed of my car, but it operates well on that high side. And you saw how he held off Jeff Gordon on that last lap.
Live NASCAR NEXTEL Cup racing from the Lowe's Motor Speedway outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, presented by the Principal Financial Group here on NBC.
And see, Gordon was stuck down there in the bottom line. He finally got in line, but he was losing a lot of spots down there because his car was so loose on the bottom.
The 16 of Greg Biffle, the 17 of Matt Kenseth. Two more of the guys in the chase. Marty Snyder.
Talked to Biffle before he got in the car, Bill, and he told me he was concerned about tonight's race. Not necessarily his safety, but what might happen out of his control. Tires, obviously a big issue. We've talked about that in yesterday's Busch Series race, and Biffle had one go down on his race car. He said, my plan, first half of the race, take it easy and rein myself in a little bit. Doug Richard, his crew chief, said, that's my job. I have to keep him calm for the first half of the race and then unleash him in the last half.
You see Biffle trying to get by the 24 car. Jeff Gordon could not make the pass. That's Kevin LePage in 66 directly in front of Jeff Gordon.
Oh, thought Gordon was going to get blocked up there.
Biffle in the 16 and Kenseth in that 17. They are teammates. Drive for Roush Racing. Roush has 5 cars in the 10-race chase for the NEXTEL Cup Championship. Gordon in that inside groove.
Really difficult to make a pass down there.
I do want to tell you that Jimmy Johnson has moved his way up to 29th. Started 41st because of the engine change. Pitted under the first caution. Restarted near the end of the field and has worked his way up into the top 30.
And you see the 8 car, the red car of Dale Earnhardt Jr. right behind Greg Biffle. He's currently running 16th, and he started 28th.
Been watching him, BP. He's been passing a lot of cars since the start of the race. Pretty fast, Dave.
They were very, very happy with this race car, especially after practice 1 on Saturday. That was when Junior was near the highest on the chart, and he came in smiling, telling the guys, we've got a fast race car this weekend, boys. Marty?
Matt Kenseth told me this morning, Dave, the 2 keys to this race, patience and tire conservation. You may see Matt hang back around 20th position for most of the first half of this race, and he said later in the race, that's when I'll go. He, too, had a problem in yesterday's Busch Series race, but not a tire. They had a mechanical failure in that race, and he said the load on these cars in the middle of the corner with these speeds that we're running is just unbelievable, unheard of, he said last night.
And Marty talked about the speeds. The front row of Elliott Sadler and Ryan Newman broke the old track record here, qualifying at an average speed over 193 miles an hour.
1.5 mile racetrack.
There's Jimmy Johnson in the 48.
Looks right around. I mean, these cars are going around this racetrack. Jimmy Johnson trying to work the low side right now.
Down the backstretch.
Carry a lot of speed into turn 3 here. We'll watch his car go down. Looks like his car, actually, car's probably pushing a little bit, but see that throttle, he's on the throttle a long, long time.
Double dog leg along the front stretch here. Then into turn 1. Marty?
I was just going to tell Wally he acts like he's a race car driver. He's a pretty smart guy because, guess what? Jimmy Johnson's car, tight, won't turn, as you said, Wally, pushing.
And that's probably good this part of the race right now.
Elliott Sadler under Ryan Newman for the lead. Sadler started on the Budweiser pole and now has moved his way back to the front. Dave Burns.
Bill, his team told me before the start of the race, if Ryan Newman jumps out there, we're not going to pressure him until we really feel like our car has come around. We don't want to abuse our tires. We saw problems with that last night when we ran the Busch Series race, and now Elliott, now that his car is very comfortable, has shot back by the 12.
23 laps are complete here at the Lowe's Motor Speedway. Our thanks to NASCAR. They held up the start of this race, so we'd be with you for the green flag following the completion of the Notre Dame USC game. And we welcome all of you football fans that have joined us for this racing action tonight from the Lowe's Motor Speedway. Tony Stewart under Ryan Newman for second place. They're all chasing Elliott Sadler. NBC Sports live at the Lowe's Motor Speedway outside of Charlotte for the NASCAR NEXTEL Cup Series.